Hasan recognized that is a W in his book.
I don't know if he's like ultra desperate to like hang off of one of his son's nuts, or I can't imagine that even he would believe this.
The real reason why Hasan like doesn't do collab shit with me is because my optics are terrible.
Why is Vaush giving other people debate advice when he's too scared to do it? It's actually so stupid. This might be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard him say. And that's saying a lot. I'm almost starting to feel bad for Vaush. Vaush down bad. I watched that clip this morning. I hate that I'm saying this, but I almost kind of feel bad. I'm almost starting to feel bad for Vaush. Oh no. We have to go through this in order, but we'll watch just this one.
To be in here.
I want to debate, like, is this woman...
Oh, by the way, in case you guys are wondering, this is me inferring or whatever, but, like, people bitch about Hasan in my community. I'm pretty sure this is Hasan actually, like, covering for me. The real reason why Hasan, like, doesn't do collab shit with me is because my optics are terrible and would incur, like, a fuck ton of hate on his part. Him saying, oh, it's because his debate bro community would be annoying to deal with is actually a way of covering for me. Because the inevitable follow-up to him saying, Vaush's optics are so bad it's difficult to even think about talking with him, is to explain why my optics are bad. And every time that comes up, that's a 20-minute conversation about every cancellation I've ever had. So keep in mind, like, you guys are being used... I'm pretty sure you guys are being used as a shield to prevent criticizing me, which I actually think is rather courteous of him. So, yeah, I don't have anything to complain about here. Aren't you both equally controversial? Not even close.
Syrian or not? I think that's a good issue. Yeah.
Hard hat being here.
I want to debate.
Click this Vaush video.
Here. Now, Hasan simply tweeted. Hasan simply tweeted Delta Airlines asking for the quarantine time to be reduced and the CDC reducing the quarantine time, which does kind of make it seem, at least through implication, that it was just Delta that did it. But
Wait. What intelligent human being would think that? Like, well, if the Delta CEO... Bro, if we're going to talk about powerful CEOs... Okay, fucking airlines suck shit, okay? Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk are probably going to have way more influence than fucking CEOs of dying fucking airline companies, okay? Chill. Stop.
I feel like this is a really easy win from Hasan's case. Like, really, really easy if he talked with Too Mad, you know? Making it seem like the CDC got paid off is really, really dumb. The best thing that you can do, I think, is to go into that conversation and say, yeah, obviously it was simplified for the purposes of Twitter, and I do think that, you know, there were factors that...
Why is Vaush giving other people debate advice when he's too scared to do it? Yeah, I wonder if it's because Vaush wants to debate Too Mad, because Too Mad is a big figure. Do you think?
Play which influenced this reduction in the quarantine time other than just the Delta Airlines, whatever. But there's not denying that there's, corporate interests, economic concerns are something which is factored into these decisions, run with that.
That's good. Nice that he knows that.
Now he did, I think, clarify some of that. The stuff that I don't get is why he got so fucking ass-pained on Twitter. He got really, really mad in a way that I think made it more difficult for him to defend some of his points. If I look here, let me see. Hasan is chronically malding. Well, he's a bit of an emotional guy. Yeah, I don't mean that as a dig. It's true, but yeah. Let me find the tweet. Yeah, this is a bit strange to me. Okay, let's run it through here. There's the original tweet.
Okay, guys. I love you very much, but when I mentioned hiring a chef, I didn't mean like a live-in chef, guys. I'm getting emails and I can't tell if that's what we're going for. Oh, where were we on this?
Then Too Mad says, Hasan, this is Alex Jones' populism level insinuating the Delta CEO through brute force power forced the CDC to cut isolation time with the CDC via independent advisory signed off by many epidemiologists that already decided on it to mitigate health worker unavailability. So there's a good part and a bad part to Too Mad's tweet here. The good part here is everything after Alex Jones' populism level. The bad part is Alex Jones' populism level. This is not Alex Jones' populism level. It's not. The idea that corporations influence government institutions is a very straightforward one-to-one point.
No. The idea that a collection of CEOs or corporations can cause the CDC to act in a medically irresponsible manner for corporate profits is an Alex Jones populism level take. That is what is being heavily implied, if not explicitly stated here.
If you've ever watched InfoWars, you're not going to get much straightforward one-to-one stuff over there. And then Hasan says in response, so if I was Hasan right here, I would probably say, I don't think it's Alex Jones level to say that corporate influences affected CDC isolation guidelines, especially since they've essentially admitted that's the case. Do you want to talk about it? Or something like that, you know?
Oh, I think Vaush is also still trying to get on Hasan's good side. He really wants to be somehow included, but that's never going to happen. He must know that by now.
That would be the direction that I would go with here, because the less time spent on Twitter, the better. But anyway, Hasan said, I originally thought this was a meme. I was wrong. Apparently, there's a good deal of people on Twitter who truly think it's Sandy Hook was fake level conspiracy to repeat what the CDC openly stated, that this new lowering of quarantine requirements is to protect the economy. So the only thing...
I got a 7-day suspension for harassing Bad Empanada. The irony is pitiful. The guy's gonna... Oh, that's pretty sad. That Bad Empanada guy is disgusting, but whatever. Also, the CDC has never admitted that this is the case. Like, it's not the same thing. But
thing that he's really expressing here, I guess, is kind of incredulity, I think. Like, basically, I can't believe Too Mad would say this, which isn't as much of a rebuttal or a de-escalation as I think would have worked here. Then Too Mad says, you're doing the same thing the Trump supporters did when they called it a plandemic. They said the CDC and Fauci were in the pockets of Big Pharma, and look where that got us. First to get the vaccines and close to dead last in vaccination rates in the developed world. Lol. So this is a bad argument from Too Mad. The vaccine hesitancy has to do with conspiracies surrounding the vaccine specifically, not general suspicion towards the pharmaceutical industry.
absolutely dead wrong. Has Vaush not covered a single day of anything relating to the vaccines whatsoever? How many times did we hear the CEO of Pfizer and fucking and Fauci owns stocks in some of these medical companies, and the CDC is fast tracking and green lighting things because Big Pharma is in bed with the CDC? This is one of the wrongest, dumbest statements I've ever heard in my life. How can you not know this? This is about as wrong a statement as you can possibly make. Vaush is like, oh, no. Conservatives were never worried about like any of the big business connections, Big Pharma. No, they were just worried about the vaccines themselves. That's actually so unbelievably incorrect. I don't know if he's like ultra desperate to like hang off of one of his son's nuts, or I can't imagine that even he would believe this, because I know that he's been watching at least as much news about this shit as I have. There's no way.
Pockets of Big Pharma, and look where that got us. First to get the vaccines and close to dead last in vaccination rates in the developed world. Lol. So this is a bad argument from Too Mad. The vaccine hesitancy has to do with conspiracies surrounding the vaccine specifically, not general suspicion towards the pharmaceutical industry or towards the intentions of the CDC. I don't think...
I can't believe you could say that. I have to stop pausing it. Maybe he's going to qualify this more coming on. This is like the most wrong statement I've ever heard in my life. Like, we just had a thing in Congress where Republicans were accusing Fauci of fucking funding, like, dog experiments with viruses in the fucking Wuhan lab, didn't we? Did nobody else follow any of this? I'm so confused. He must be about to qualify this or something. He must be about to qualify this. There's got to be something different.
Towards the pharmaceutical industry or towards the intentions of the CDC. I don't think this is a fair comparison to make. Now, you can argue that undue skepticism towards the CDC with regards to corporate influence can lead to conspiracy mongering. And
you don't think that's happened at all? It's actually so stupid. This might be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard him say. And that's saying a lot. It's so weird. That's so weird.
Bad stuff like that, but I don't think I don't think this is close enough. I don't think so. I don't. I think this is a big reach, basically. And then Hasan responded, yes, it's actually Trump supporters who are in favor of continuing restrictions famously. Just come on stream if you want to clearly communicate your position rather than posturing with weird Twitter takes. I think this is a really bad response. First of all, he's not addressing the core of the issue here, that he wants to continue restrictions, but Trump doesn't.
Oh, wait.
The initial.
You think Tim Ad would ever
doesn't
debate Vaush?
Really address the point. It just kind of vaguely points out that there's a difference between him and conservatives, but like we knew that. It doesn't really hit at the point right there. Then he says, come on stream if you want to communicate, which I think is fine. But at this point, the well's a bit poisoned, you know? Clearly communicate your position rather than posturing with weird Twitter takes is antagonistic and sort of perpetuates the issue here, I think. Then Too Mad says, you can't really be this stupid, Lamau. The comparison I'm making is between Trump supporters suggesting the CDC was compromised by private business and you doing the same. If you can't get that analogy, you should ask your uncle for a new job. So obviously this is cunty and a little bit of a... Actually, it's a massive Mott and Bailey from Too Mad. So first of all, this bit here is, I think, a huge escalation in antagonism, the bit at the end. Second of all, this is definitely a Mott and Bailey. The initial position, which is that Hasan saying that corporations influence CDC guidelines, is the same as Trump supporters saying that it was a plandemic and vaccine hesitancy. That is a very difficult position to defend. This new position he's saying is that you and Trump supporters have both suggested the CDC was compromised by private business, which, yes, I do think...
Wait, those are the same thing. What do you think it means, Vaush? In other words, if you're saying the CDC is compromised meaning it can no longer fulfill its original function due to external influence. If the CDC is compromised by big business, another way of saying that might be the CDC and Fauci are in the pockets of big pharma. These are the same statements.
Trump supporters have both suggested the CDC was compromised by private business, which, yes, I do think that essentially every government institution to some extent or another is compromised by corporate interests. Yes, that's like yes, very straightforwardly. Yes. Now, the extent to which and the effects that has will vary, and you can be different levels of butt-fuck insane with that kind of stuff. But you agree on a thing with Trump? Yeah, exactly. So really, really goofy stuff there. But and then anyway, so I think this is a really bad response from Too Mad. And then Hasan responds, and I think this is the end of it. All I'm hearing is cowardly posturing behind the computer because you're worried that you won't be able to misrepresent when I'm very clearly stating...
It's so funny that Hasan ended up acted so big, and then when fucking 5'2" dwarf man wants to come and chat, he's like, I can't talk to him. I don't know if Destiny's hiding in the rafters.
Real time. So I actually think Hasan is right to say this, because I do think this is a misrepresentation. This Mott and Bailey here, I think this is...
Oh my god. Wait, what did you guys think it was gonna cost for in-house chef services?
Very stupid from Hasan, and it just makes him look really fucking salty. Making fun of Hasan's uncle is not a groiper... First of all, groiper neckbeard? Groipers aren't even old enough to grow neckbeards. Second of all, what the fuck does that... This is very weird.
Wait, how old does he think you're... Does he think the neckbeard only starts growing when you get older? I'm so lost. This stream is so confusing to me. I don't know what's happening.
Weird, like, you know, you made fun of my uncle just like those Nazis. Like, okay, I mean, I guess maybe they would too, but, yeah. Just really regrettable stuff all around. And now they're not even going to talk on stream. Dumb. Cringe. Dumb. Too mad.
What's the limit where ordering food daily becomes cheaper for you? Probably I would spend around $50 to $100 a day ordering if I ordered food every meal for me and Melina every time. The problem though is that I think I'll get bored, and it's probably better to have like a wide variety of food. And it's tempting when I order food to order stuff that I shouldn't be ordering, like a lot of fried foods and super processed stuff.
Intentionally leaked DMs conspire with us. I have no doubt. Okay, I'm pretty sure Too Mad watches Destiny, and Destiny's, you know, going to be fairly desperate for any chance to interact. Hasan says he won't join my Discord. Yeah, it's not surprising. He was just going to do a private call. You could make another Discord call, and I could call him. That maybe it's going to be a trial. But yeah, okay. So they were planning to do the thing. They were planning to They were planning to do the thing, yeah.
It was 100% a plan, guys. From the very start, we were ready to go, okay? That was absolutely what was going to happen, okay?
Oh my God, Sam Cedar, what a fucking nightmare. So the fact that Hasan recognized that is a W in his book.
That's my favorite part of this whole video. Vaush giving props to Hasan that he was able to dodge a debate. True.
You know, that he was perceptive about that. Anyway, yeah. So altogether, I feel like there were things that Hasan could have done to sort of head this off.
Can you not call it processed foods bad? Right, that's all I'm saying. Totally sane Destiny spends his Christmas defending Mr. Girl on Vaush's Reddit. Oh, is he finally noticing? I've been posting more and more on our subreddit because if I have longer talks with people, I find that they're generally like pretty reasonable. Like I can usually, sometimes I'll shit post, but I was like, oh, let's have a talk about this particular thing. And then usually people are like, oh, okay, Dusty, I understand you're here. No, probably because we have a large fan base, Christopher, anyway. I feel like Vaush is going to try to find a way to ban me from his subreddit without saying why. I'm waiting for it. You probably say you're talking about it in your stream. Oh shit! Oh yeah, maybe because now he's addressing it. Hold on, let's finish this one.
The Too Mad is making is correct and could be fleshed out in a conversation. The core point that Hasan is making is also correct. That's the problem. We're talking about core points, not every possible variable interpretation one could take of a point out in every direction. You know, so we're really dealing with a whole lot of potential, you know, interpretations here. So yeah, you know, what are you gonna do? And then he also said this, sorry, in response to the Alex Jones populism meme. 1, healthcare worker quarantine time was cut short 5 days before the decision. 2, unconventionally, the CDC never released the new data that shows it's safe to quarantine for 5
What? Do I touch my facial hair this much?
You know, what are you gonna do? And then he also said this, sorry, in response to the Alex Jones populism meme. 1, healthcare worker quarantine time was cut short 5 days before the decision. 2, unconventionally, the CDC never released the new data that shows it's safe to quarantine for 5 days, even with the vague guidelines. 3, not just the Delta CEO, but also governors influenced by commerce. Yeah, I really think he could defend his point here. You know, does everyone get my perspective here? We all good?
Sorry,
everyone good?
Now I'm being a bully. I'm sorry. That was uncalled for. Stop.
Did we do it? Did we figure it out? Nice. Nicely done. Very good. We figured it out. Would Too Mad's core point be you need to be careful on the way you express your accusations so you're not doing the same as the Trump supporters? Well, yeah, the only defensible point he could really like stick to, I think,
I'm sorry. I'm done.
You have to be more specific when doing anything that alleges conspiracy because its worst interpretations could be quite socially harmful. It doesn't change the Mott and Bailey though.